Hi everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I'm really excited about crafting with you live here, step by step today. Now I hope you all had an amazing weekend and are ready to kick off the week with another live video here with me today. Now let me just make sure that I am live here on Facebook. If you're watching, make sure to comment, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody is joining me each week. Now, if you're watching live here on YouTube, I'm also live over on my YouTube channel. Just make sure to comment there and let me know you were able to join me this week. All right, it looks like I may be good here. Let's see. Just trying to follow up. For some reason, doesn't look like my YouTube channel is connecting, but I can always upload the video later. So if it's not playing, that's okay. I will upload it. All right, hello Penny, hi Veronica, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are excited about today's Makers Monday as I am. Now I have a ton of stuff to go over before I jump into my projects. So let's go ahead and swap the camera and we'll do a little bit of announcements before I get started here today. All right, the first one is I announced my Stampin' Bingo, Spring Stampin' Bingo. If you've never joined Stampin' Bingo before, this is my customers' #1 favorite event that I host 4 times a year. Now I have 1 spot remaining if you are wanting to attend the in-person event here in Tucson. Now, of course, the virtual is wide open. We can accept as many people to sign up for that. But if you're wanting to attend the Tucson event, I only have 1 space available. Now this event will sell out. But our Stampin' Bingo features the Taco Fiesta stamp set. Here is what it looks like. Taco Fiesta is my favorite stamp set from the January to April mini catalog, and I'm happy to announce that this is carrying over into our 2023-2024 annual catalog. So Taco Fiesta will be in our next annual catalog, but Stampin' Bingo will be held in person on Saturday, April 29th, or virtually on Sunday, April 30th. So what does Stampin' Bingo entail? We play 7 rounds of bingo, 6 rounds of regular various styles of bingo, like diagonal, 4 corners. And then we have a grand prize round. Every winner will receive product credit to choose Stampin' Up supplies of your choice. Now, the products will be from the new annual catalog. So if you are excited about the new annual catalog as I am, Stampin' Bingo is the best place to kick off your annual catalog wish list. Now, we'll be having door prizes and make and take projects featuring the Taco Fiesta stamp set. So if you are wanting to grab that last Tucson in-person Stampin' Bingo spot, or you're wanting to attend virtual, so no matter where you live in the United States, you can play bingo with me and create our make and take projects. The link to register for bingo is in the description of this video right now, so you can go ahead and click that once I'm done here today and reserve your spot for Stampin' Bingo. Now, deadline to register is April 16th, or in person will close as soon as that 1 spot sells out, but virtual will remain open until Sunday the 16th. I can't remember what day that is. I think it's Sunday. So, Stampin' Bingo customers' #1 favorite event that I host 4 times a year. It is back for the spring and will be featuring the Taco Fiesta stamp set. I've already purchased some decorations and I'm really excited about this theme, so it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, next up is April's Club Craft and Create. Now, originally we were supposed to create projects featuring By the Bay, but when I went to design those projects, the By the Bay dies were on the unavailable list. So I pivoted and we are now creating with the Happier Than Happy bundle. This is the stamp set. This is from our annual catalog. Now there are coordinating dies and designer series paper to go with this. So Club Craft and Create features either an in-person event here in Tucson or virtual via Zoom. That is recorded, so if you can't attend the live Zoom event, you'll be able to still create these projects. You create 4 projects, 2 each of those designs for a total of 8 projects at the end. We will be crafting with that designer series paper, which is included in your class kit, as well as a full package of the elegant faceted gems and the Old Olive crumb cake ribbon. Now, I have purchased all the supplies for this class already because I wanted to make sure that I had enough. So if you already have registered last month for Club Craft and Create and you did not cancel, you are on my list to receive this month's kit. But I have just a few extra kits if you are wanting Club Craft and Create. The deadline to register for this is the end of this week, April 8th. Now, the in-person event is April 18th here in Tucson. A virtual is April 19th. So if you're wanting to learn a little bit about Club Craft and Create, again, the link is in the description of this video to learn all about Club Craft and Create. Now, I had somebody message me and ask, can I just sign up for 1 month? Because Club Craft and Create is a reoccurring subscription. Yes, you can sign up for 1 month of Club Craft and Create. All you have to do is then, once you're registered and you receive that confirmation, to just go in and cancel your PayPal subscription. So very easy to do if you're wanting to just try it out for 1 month. So Club Craft and Create deadline for that is April 8th. All right, next up, Stampin' Up has posted the retiring in our colors for our annual catalog. So every about 3 to 5 to 7 years, Stampin' Up does what they call a color refresh. And this coming 2023-2024 annual catalog will have a color refresh. So for that, some of our core colors are retiring right now, and this includes 4 of our current 21-23 in colors. So the colors that are retiring: Polished Pink, Pale Papaya, Soft Succulent, which I'm very sad about, Evening Evergreen, Mango Melody, Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, Rich Razzleberry, Blushing Bride, So Saffron, Pear Pizzazz, Mint Macaron, Mary Mallow, Sahara Sand, and Soft Suede. Now, you may be thinking, oh my gosh, that is a lot of colors to retire. But the thing is, we have 15 colors that are leaving, and now 15 new and returning colors are coming back. So Stampin' Up does their color refresh, like I said, every 3 to 7 years. And they do this to bring in colors that have been in our home decor or fashion, or just a way to spruce up our color offering. Now in there, like I said, we have some returning colors that were popular in colors, like Misty Moonlight is one of our returning colors. But then we have brand new colors like Bubble Bath, which will be debuting at the beginning of May. So this is our colors that are currently on the retiring list. Now, everything that is offered in these color families will be retiring, such as your ink pads, refills, cardstock, ribbon, anything that features these colors will be retiring. So if you do not have your ink refills for your ink pads, now is the time to grab those. I mentioned that a couple weeks ago, actually last week during Makers Monday, that if you don't have refills for your ink pads, you're not protecting your investment, meaning once they dry out, you can't reuse them. So always make sure you have a refill for your inks to be able to extend the life of your ink pads. But some of these items, like our Stampin' Blends, are already on the non-available list. I know the soft succulent Stampin' Blends were already sold out. So if you are wanting any of the supplies of these colors, I highly suggest you order them as soon as possible, because once they are sold out, they are sold out. Now, I will again be offering my In Color Club like I have the past 4 years. So the new In Colors, we have 5 new In Colors that are debuting in May. I'll be doing my In Color Club, and more details about In Color Club will be coming out later. But I'm excited for the color refresh. I really love our new colors that are coming in, and some of our colors that are coming back. Lemon Lime Twist and Berry Burst were 2 of my favorite in colors that we had, and I'm really excited to bring those colors in to the core color families that we have right now. So again, retiring colors, they're great. I love them. I am very sad about Bermuda Bay and Mint Macaron. I mean, I love mint, but I'm really excited to see what is coming as well. All right, the last thing I have before we, the last thing is Prize Patrol. So every week I do something called Prize Patrol, and all you have to do is share this video to be entered, and make sure you comment so I know that you shared for Prize Patrol, and that's it. So last week I featured one of our Kits Collection kits, and the prize for last week was a Paper Pumpkin kit. So Paper Pumpkin has everything you need, kind of like our Kits Collection items, but this is the 10-year kit for Paper Pumpkin, so it has an additional stamp set in there as well. So last week's winner for Prize Patrol was Shar. So congratulations, Shar. I think I have your address already, but if not, I'll reach out to you. So congratulations to Shar. She is our Prize Patrol winner for last week. Now our Prize Patrol for this week is the Into the Clouds embossing folder. Really fun embossing folder to create this sky background. So all you have to do again is share this video, comment that you shared, and you'll be entered into this week's Prize Patrol. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our projects here today. Let's see, I am featuring the Tropical Leaf stamp set and coordinating punch. Now, this is not found in any of our Stampin' Up! Catalogs. The past couple months, Stampin' Up! Debuted something called Online Exclusives. Now, this is part of our website that hosts items that are only available online and won't be found in any of our publications. So the Tropical Leaf stamp set and punch come in a bundle, or they can be purchased individually. And I really like this because if you know me and you follow me, you know I love stamp sets that have both images and sentiments together. So it's an all-in-one stamp set. But I also like it because I love this font. It's not super hard to read like some of our scripty fonts, but it's different than anything that I've seen that we've had recently for this type of font. It is a 2-step stamp set, meaning you can stamp the outside of the leaf and then the inside of the leaf to create those veins. And then this bigger image right here coordinates with the punch. So we are going to use this stamp set today to create 3 projects featuring this. Now I have pulled from designer series papers that are different, because with our retiring catalogs, we have 2 catalogs that are retiring items right now. Trying to find enough supplies to be able to create any weekly class to go packets for you guys, it's a little difficult. So I wanted to make sure that I used designer series paper, that I had enough on stock that I could create your make and take packets if you're wanting this week's class to go. So here is our first project. This one features Soft Succulent, and it is very tonal, so very soft succulent card. I really like the way this project turned out. Great for beginner stampers to create your own background there. Now this one is a layout that I tend to gravitate towards. Now this is an easel card, so a 4 1/4 by 11, but it has the two spots of designer series paper and then just a little bit of color to tie in for there. And then this one, we're gonna use a fun embossing folder called the Splatter embossing folder. Now let's see if you guys can see. Let me, if I tilt it, you guys can see that fun embossing folder right there. And we're gonna use that in this project here. So I really like that splatter kind of look there. Now I try to create projects that coordinate with each other normally, but we're kind of all over the color scheme here today. But it all works with this tropical leaf here. Now I mentioned the weekly class to go. So if you are interested in creating this week's Makers Monday projects, if you place an order of $35 or more on my website prior to shipping and tax, I will send you all the supplies for this week's Make and Take projects. Now, if you place an order of $50 or more, you'll receive this week's embellishment, which is a roll of linen thread. Now, I use linen thread on a lot of projects. It goes with basically everything. So the linen thread is our embellishment of the week. Now, don't forget, on my website, stampinblondie.com, I have the free project PDF tutorial. It has all of the names, numbers, and the prices of the items that I'm using on my projects here today. So if you want the make and takes for this week, you'll need the tropical leaf bundle, or you can substitute with whatever you have in your craft supply. There's also dimensions at the bottom of the PDF, and don't forget the back side as well. But you can print this off of my website, stampinblondie.com. It's free, so you can pair that with this video and create your projects for this week. All right, now, I didn't highlight anything on here that is on the retiring list. So I'll mention a couple things during the video, but I'm not for sure on everything that's retiring because the list is pretty long. So I didn't highlight anything that's retiring, so you'll just have to go to the website just to double check with things that are retiring. So if I use a color that has sold out, I apologize. When I created these projects, all these items were in stock at the time. Okay, so our first project here, like I mentioned, a soft succulent, one of our retiring colors. I do know for sure that is retiring. I'm very sad about that because I loved soft succulent. So here is our ink pad for that. Now in the class kit this week, we have a piece of soft succulent cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to use our bone folder here to kind of crisp up our line. Now what we're going to do is, like I mentioned, we're going to create our own kind of designer series paper on the background there. So we have our stamp, and I'm just using the large leaf. I'm not going to use the inside vines or anything because we're just going to stamp around the entire outside. So let me get my scratch piece of paper here. It's hidden behind my computer. Here we go. So just a scratch piece of paper because we could stamp off the edge here. Soft succulent. I'm so sad this color is retiring. I for sure thought this one may carry over. I thought this was a great color to have, but you know, alas, it didn't make the cut. Again, another one, mint. I thought mint would carry over and soft sea foam would go, but the opposite. Soft sea foam is staying and mint is going. Very sad about that one. Now you can see as I stamp, my images are a little bit darker. As the ink dries, it does lighten up just a little bit. So we're just going, I'm just swapping my stamp back and forth to kind of create these little various designs here. And I did get a little ink right there in the middle. That's okay. It's going to be covered up, so we won't even see that. All right, our piece of designer series paper. Now this is, I will say, unfortunately, this is sold out. I double checked earlier and this is sold out. So you can substitute with whatever designer series paper that coordinates here. But if you get the class to go, you'll get one in your class. I have enough for that, but to purchase more online, it's sold out. All right, we're gonna take a spare piece of white cardstock and we're gonna stamp the leaves, again in soft succulent. Now this time, it's kind of hard to see. You can see I stamped the little vein in the middle of the leaf too. So we're gonna grab that and we're gonna stamp 2 of our leaves here. So 1, 2. So were there any colors that you guys were surprised that are retiring? I was not surprised about Blushing Bride. I had been thinking that one was going to retire for a while. I was not surprised about Sahara Sand, only because it's so close to Crumb Cake. And Crumb Cake definitely is more of a popular color. I'm also going to stamp my Sentiment Hello while I have my soft suede here, or my soft succulent. Soft suede, that was another one that I was surprised was retiring. I thought soft suede would stay, but alas, it's gone. Like I said, Bermuda Bay. I love Bermuda Bay. That was probably one of my first colors I purchased when I became a demonstrator. I love Bermuda Bay. But, you know, I'm excited for things to come too. All right, so I'm just punching out my leaves. You can see the punch coordinates really well with this. And we'll bring in our card base and we're going to adhere these. Now I will show you a little secret that I learned. So I have these 2 leaves and I want to adhere them down to my card base. I found if you take a mini glue dot, yes, Rich Razzleberry was another one that I was surprised to see go. So I'm just gonna add a mini glue dot to my leaf right there. And then I'm just gonna stick my leaves there. So you can then glue this as one piece. That's a little trick that I learned. Rich Razzleberry. I love Rich Razzleberry, probably because it was bright and I love brighter colors. But we have some changes in our core colors as well. Currently, let's see, Blackberry Bliss, I think, is moving over to a different core family. I know Pumpkin Pie is going back to brights. Right now it's in Regals, so it's going back to brights. So not only do we have some colors that are retiring, we have some of them are kind of shifting around. Pumpkin Pie used to be in the brights, then it moved to Regals. Now it's moving back to brights. Poor Pumpkin Pie. I can't figure out what it wants to be. Okay, so I'm adding some dimensionals to the back of my sentiment piece here. And that's just gonna go right there. And then we're gonna take 2 pieces of linen thread about 7 inches apart. And we're gonna tie those into a bow. Let's see, yes, Mint and Bermuda Bay. Those are my top 2 that I'm sad to see go. I don't know, normally I sell my retired ink pads, but those 2 I may keep. I don't know, they may be on the back burner for keeping for me. Now I kept my Lemon Lime Twist, my Berry Burst. Oh, and Blueberry Bushel is coming back. Blueberry Bushel, I kept that one, my Misty Moonlight ink pad, because I knew, like Stampin' Up said, with every 3 to 7 years, I kind of had a feeling a color refresh was coming. So I'll save my ink pads until the next color refresh for in colors. I'll save those. All right, we're just tying our bow, making sure that the loops here are even, and then we are going to trim all 4 edges at the same time. Here we go. And the best way to adhere this ribbon is a mini glue dot. Now, a lot of people always ask me, where did I get my glue dot holder? This is called the Glue Dots Desktop dispenser. It is, it's discontinued from Glue Dots, but you can sometimes find them on Amazon if you're lucky. So just keep an eye out on Amazon. I had some of my, one of my team members get one recently on Amazon. So just kind of keep an eye, eBay, Amazon, to see if you can find one. It's a mini Glue Dots desktop dispenser. All right, I just added 3 of our rhinestone basic jewels to the project, and here is our first card today featuring the tropical leaf bundle from the online exclusives. So I hope you guys like this one. The best part about this layout is no matter what color of designer series paper you have, you can create this card and just swap out the ink color and the cardstock color. So this is a great layout to be able to mix and match and create different projects with the same layout, but different colors. So fun layout right there. Courtney said Pretty Peacock. Yes, that one I'm very excited about. Love Pretty Peacock. It is a great color for all seasons. Actually, it's a really good for fall to mix with like crushed curry. So I'm very excited about Pretty Peacock too. All right, our second project today is that easel card here. Now this designer series paper is from the Two-Tone Flora Suite. So this is designer series paper that Stampin' Up had one of their design team members create paintings on canvas. So basically it's kind of hard to see probably from the video, but there's different layers of paint that are on to this canvas that they copied to create beautiful designer series paper. So the official name of it is Fancy Flora Designer Series Paper, but it's from the Two-Tone Flora Suite. All right, so this is Evening Evergreen, one of our retiring colors. I'm sad. This is a great Christmas color, so I'm sad to see that one go. All right, first we're gonna take our piece of basic white cardstock and we're gonna stamp our sentiment using Calypso Coral. Calypso Coral is not retiring, so we'll be able to use this color. This is a good one to mix with Pretty Peacock and Misty Moonlight, 2 colors that are coming back. So very nice color to kind of mix and match. Sarah said, sad to see Rich Razzleberry go, but glad to see Berry Burst come back. So if you aren't too familiar, this is about Berry Burst color. It may be just a little bit brighter, but this and the middle color here is about Lemon Lime Twist. So very 2 bright colors, but they work well with other colors to kind of tone themselves down. All right, we're gonna bring in that piece of basic white, and let me clean off my stamps because we are gonna move on to Mint Macaron for this one. Sad mint. Oh, the mint was probably one of, again, I've been a demonstrator, it'll be 13 years in November. So I remember Concord Grape was one of the first in colors that I had, as well as Poppy Parade. So it's very fun to see some of these colors come and go with trends, but there may be some that I keep in my secret stash. All right, we're stamping our big leaf here with mint, and then again the vines here, vein right on top. So while it is tone on tone stamping, because you're doubling up that vein section, it'll be just a little bit darker on here. So we can put our mint away, and then we're gonna punch out our 2 leaves here. I love punch sets because it's just, punches are so much easier sometimes. You don't have to bring out your emboss machine. You can easily punch these pieces out. Punches are great for all skill levels, no matter what your skill level is. Anybody can line something up and just punch right out. So easy peasy. All right, just like our last project, I'm going to use a mini glue dot to adhere my leaves together just so I can go ahead and glue the, oh, if it'll stick on there. Get off my finger. Nope, I'm gonna have to get a new glue dot here. Yeah, we'll just throw that one away and get another one. So these will hopefully stick on my paper, maybe. I must have glue or something on my finger here. Stick, there we go. And that's just gonna keep our two leaves together so that I can glue this down as one piece there. Okay, I've got my stamped sentiment piece. Let me kind of bring that in frame so you guys can see it. Now we have these two pieces of designer series paper and then our stamped piece here. Now before I glue anything down, I just want to make sure that my spacing is correct. So just gonna kind of move some stuff around to make sure it's exactly how I want it. Kind of move this down a little bit. There we go. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one piece at the bottom and add my glue. I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue because if this is not exactly where I want it, I have a few seconds to kind of shift and shimmy my paper exactly in the place I want it to go. Right, there we go. And right here at the top, there we go. And then in the middle, this piece is gonna go on with dimensionals. So we're gonna add dimensionals to the back here. Now this is a great layout. I made Christmas cards with this layout and it's quick and easy, a great way to use if you have a lot of leftover designer series paper. This is a great way you can easily put projects together with this. You just cut 1 inch by 3 3/4 inch strips of designer series paper, and you can kind of mix and match the middle section here too. All right, there we go with that. We're gonna add our leaves, and these are just gonna go down by liquid glue. And that's gonna go right there. Okay. We're just gonna use one piece of linen thread. We're not gonna double this one up. And you can see it's very curly and sometimes it makes it hard to tie that. So if you just kind of pull it between, then you can straighten out a little bit and create the bow a little bit better. Just a little trick with this. All right, go through the loop. Loop and swoop. There we go. Because this linen thread is thin, again, the mini glue dots are the best way to adhere these. If you try to use liquid glue, even if you have a light hand, it will ooze out the sides and then you'll just have glue everywhere. So a mini glue dot, and the best way is to just kind of take your pick tool, take your pick tool, roll that mini glue dot into a ball, and then you can adhere it right there. And then as the final touch, I'm gonna use 2 of the medium size rhinestones, and we're gonna put those right here in the upper right corner. And there is our second project today, featuring the Tropical Leaf Bundle. A fun easel card, so a little bit different than your normal book style card, and with the addition of the thread and the rhinestones, you get just a little bit of bling on there for this project. So I hope you guys like our project number 2 here today. Tropical Leaf Bundle from the online exclusives. All right, and our last project here today, like I said, we're gonna use that Splatter 3D embossing folder, and this actually fits in our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I've got my piece of Old Olive cardstock. So Old Olive is carrying over. The CEO of Stampin' Up, Sarah, she recently did a Facebook Live talking about the new colors and just some details about how Stampin' Up! Picks their colors. Old Olive and Real Red are actually part of our initial core color family offering that they've had for years and years and years. So these two colors have been around forever with the Real Red and Old Olive, and they are carrying over to the next catalog too. All right, we have Pear Pizzazz. This color is not carrying over, so this is retiring, but we have Boho Blue, which is coming. This is going to be one of our new in colors. So, oops, sorry, that was loud. We have 5 in colors coming, and I posted a picture of them on my Facebook page earlier this afternoon, so you can see what those look like. All right, here is the Splatters embossing folder. It comes in a 2-pack with the Stripes embossing folder, so you get 2 embossing folders together. They fit in our mini machine, but you can also use them in the larger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So even if you have the big one only, this will fit in it, but not vice versa. So we have a smaller platform here. Now with embossing, you need plates 1 and 4. It tells you right on there what you need, so you don't have to remember. And I like to use this black line at the bottom of my embossing folders to line up my paper. So that is the best way to make sure that your embossing folder is straight. So on the bottom, we have plate number 1, embossing folder, plate number 4. It has a little picture right there. It tells you exactly what plates to put in case you forget. So you just run those through the machine. Let's make sure it's all lined up here. There we go. Now the embossing folders are a little tighter than dies, so I just don't want it to fly across my craft table. There we go. It's kind of loud closing it, sorry. There we go. All right, so we have our, and the machine comes with those plates. I think I said that. So all the plates come with the machine, so you don't have to purchase anything separate. So here it is embossed. You can see, I'll tilt it sideways a little bit. You can see that splatter effect on there. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna stamp a bunch of different leaves here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we are going to stamp. And those are gonna be Old Olive. So again, 1 color of stamping here. I'm gonna clean these off really quick. I don't really show it on camera too often, but this is the Stampin' Scrub, if you aren't too familiar. One side you spray Stampin' Mist, the other side is dry. And so you just rub your stamps on the wet side and then the dry side, and it cleans them off. So I don't show that too often on videos, but in case you've wondered how to clean your stamps, you always want to clean your stamps off. You never want to leave ink on them. Depending on the color, it can stain your stamps. So just make sure you always clean off your stamps in between projects. All right, so we're gonna stamp 6 of these. Melissa says, I love my mini, need to order new plates. Yes, there's new plates. My suggestion is order them before the new catalog because there are some price increases on items, and I think the plates were one of those items that there was a price increase. So if you need new plates, make sure to add those to your next order because then you won't have to worry about a price increase on them. All right, so just gonna stamp the veins now. Same color, so tone on tone. And I'm not, precisely doing these right in the middle. They may be a little different each time, but that's okay. It'll still give it that look. There we go, and the last one. Yes, the splatter and the stripes embossing folder, I think they tend to get hidden a little bit in the back because they're not part of a bundle or a suite or anything like that. They're just one offer for embossing folders. So sometimes those items that don't coordinate with a lot of things, they tend to get lost in the background for some things. So make sure to keep an eye out for those one-off things. Now I'll be able to order new catalogs starting tomorrow. So hopefully I will have them by the end of the week. So I am very excited to have a paper copy in hand of the new catalog. There's just something about seeing it in person rather than, you know, seeing it online. In person, I can, you know, flip through the pages, see offerings a little bit better. But I always like to have a paper copy rather than a online version. All right, so lining the last one up here. Here we go. All right, time to assemble. We just need to do our sentiment. So this one, we are gonna do the sentiment that says, love you lots. And that's just in regular tuxedo black Memento ink. Again, this is carrying over, of course, it's black. You can't have stamping without black ink. So this will be in the new catalog. Just gonna bring it forward to make sure I stamp right in the middle. There we go. And one last thing I forgot to do here, I'm gonna bring back that old olive, is these are actually, this stamp is actually for creating like stems. So you can kind of do like a bamboo kind of look to it. But on my project, I'm using it to create a little image on the background of the cardstock. So it's not so plain in the background there. We're just gonna take our cardstock base, tone on tone stamping again with old olive, and I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Because this is larger, I'm gonna flip it over, and we're gonna stamp once, and then ink up again. We're gonna flip the stamp around twice, and then once more again, that same direction as the first time. And 3 times. So it kind of creates a background that's not so plain and uses the stamp in just a fun, different way. Now we can assemble our card. So the first thing we're gonna add is that splatter embossing. I am using the liquid glue for this because when you use embossing, you want to make sure you have a good adhesive to make it stick. And the liquid glue really gets in between those embossed pieces. So that's why I like to use the liquid glue. All right, all of these little leaves we're gonna adhere individually. So I'm just starting one going one direction, and then we're gonna layer going down the rest of the card the opposite direction. So just liquid glue is quick, and then this next one will be the same direction as the first one, and we're just working our way down the card. There we go. 3, that's number 4. Here we go, and then our last one, go right at the bottom. There we go. So it kind of creates a vine of these leaves up the side of the card. Now our sentiment's gonna go on with dimensionals, and this is from the Stylish Shapes dies. They have circles and squares and these fun little banner pieces, and that's gonna go at the bottom. We're gonna take one piece of thread, if I can find the end, there it is, and we're gonna do the bow. Go. Tie this here. Again, mini glue dot is the best way to put these down. Just gonna pull that. I don't want too big of a ribbon here, so I may have used too much thread, but for me it's easier to cut if I have just a little bit more ribbon. I can handle it a little bit better for that. Great. My mini glue dots. Tanya said, what do I put in the bottom of our glue holder so the glue doesn't get in the holder? So you can see mine's pretty gunky. I actually need to clean it. I'm gonna soak this in some soapy water and hope all this gets out. I actually got this at it was like a stamp expo, but they have a bunch of them on Etsy. They're 3D printed. If you just search like multi-purpose glue holder, you'll find all of the different ones on there. But it's just 3D printed and it holds my multi-purpose liquid glue. I like it because all the glue goes down to this little tip here. If you place it on its side, then the glue runs down to the side and it takes a little bit to come out. So I always store my glue in here, and even when it's closed, I put it in there. But I really need to clean it because it gets, I call them glue buggies, but you get little glue buggies in the holder. So I just need to soak it. I'll probably do that right after. Right after I'm done here, I'll go soak my glue holder. All right, and then for the final touch on this project, we're gonna use 4 of the small rhinestones. Now these rhinestones, of course, are carrying over. This is like a basic core item, but I love that you can color these with Stampin' Blends and change the colors. But here is our 3rd and final project featuring the Tropical Leaf Bundle from the online exclusives. So I hope you guys like this one. This one's a little more stepped up and advanced with the embossing and all these punches, but I think it's fun. You can see that they're all kind of growing up the side of the card there. All right, so let me bring in our 3 projects that we worked on today. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. I think this tropical leaf, the last one that I did with the growing leaves up the side, is my favorite here today. But we have our old olive, our evening evergreen, and our soft succulent card. So let me know in the comments today which one is your favorite card.